God. We are honored to have not only our delegates here tonight, but to have our families and those that are traveling and several guests. And we want to welcome everybody that is in the back of the room. Why don't we give them a hand? And at this time, we want to officially recognize and welcome the delegates from around the world that are here as a part of the Executive Global Council. And so we'll start with North America. We are incredibly honored and blessed as a global church to have as the chair of the Global Council, Bishop David K. Bernard. Why don't we welcome him as he introduces the North America.
Praise the Lord, everyone. It's certainly great to convene the Executive Global Council of the United Pentecostal Church International. I had the opportunity to preach at the local church here Sunday, and I mentioned here, but I'll mention to you too. This is my second time to Osaka. The first time, I was 8 years old. We were traveling by ship from the U.S. to come to Korea as the pioneer missionaries. My parents were. That was in 1965. So we came to the harbor of Tokyo, Yokohama, and then Tokyo, then came across to Kyoto and Osaka. So I do have a few pictures to prove I was here, but I don't remember a whole lot more, but I do know it's changed quite a bit. So it's exciting to see the progress of the work of the Lord in this part of the world. Of course, I grew up close by in Korea, and so it's always good to come back to Asia and enjoy the uniqueness of this part of the world. And so we have 7 delegates from the UPCI of North America, specifically Canada and the United States. As you heard, unfortunately, Brother Woodward is our delegate from Canada, but could not come because his granddaughter was hospitalized with a very life-threatening illness. We are thankful that there's been a miraculous recovery. She's still in the hospital. And so, of course, Brother Hundley and I serve as the co-chairs, so we are 2 of the delegates. And the remaining delegates, Brother Darrell Johns from Atlanta, Georgia. If you will stand, Brother Johns. He is the Assistant General Superintendent of the Eastern Zone. We have 2 Assistant General Superintendents. I usually ask one of them to come, alternate, so that you can get to meet them and they can get to meet you. And then I usually have several different leaders representing various divisions or ministries and a district superintendent. And so I've asked Brother Tim Gaddy, who is district superintendent of Arkansas, to be here today. And he's also a pastor in the Little Rock area, Cabot, Arkansas. And then we have Brother Dave Henry, who's a pastor in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Stand, Brother Henry. He's the director of Building the Bridge Ministries, which focuses on the outreach and involvement of African Americans in our fellowship. And then we have Brother DJ Hill, who is our General Director of Youth Ministries. So one of the younger delegates here. We welcome him. Also one of the taller delegates here. So did I catch everybody? I think those are all that are here. So we welcome the delegates from the U.S. and Canada.
Thank you, Brother Bernard. We will go to the Africa region, and introducing our delegates from the Africa region will be our regional director, Brother Randy Adams.
Thank you, Brother Hundley. Thank you, Brother Hundley and Brother Bernard. Happy to introduce our delegates from the Africa region. I'll begin in East Africa. Brother Richard Smoke, area coordinator for East Africa, also missionary in Tanzania and a few other places. Brother Fakara Desta, superintendent of our church in Ethiopia, representing East Africa, all the way across to West Africa. Brother Craig Sully, one of our area coordinators in West Africa, in Senegal and French West Africa, and also Brother Stephen Benda, T.Y. Benda, superintendent of the United Pentecostal Church of Liberia. Thank you. I was thinking this afternoon, Brother Benda, I believe, has attended South Central and also missionary to South Africa. And Brother Morgan Wanza, you were hiding over there behind this. Brother Morgan Wanza, superintendent of the United Pentecostal Church of Zambia. And lest I not forget and mention, although he's not an official delegate of the Africa region in this Executive Global Council, but Brother Duncan Karuku, the Secretary of Global Council UPCI, is part of our great African team.
Why don't we welcome the African delegate? We'll next go to our host region, and we are thankful for Brother Lyndon Shaw and his leadership, Regional Director for Asia, who will introduce the Asian delegates.
Thank you, Brother Hundley, and it's my honor and privilege to welcome as a delegate, first of all, Brother Lalmo Samasaido. Would you say that with me together? He is the General Secretary of the Church of Northeast India, the UPCI of Northeast India. And next to him is Brother Lionel Dabbs. He is the area coordinator for East Asia and also the area coordinator for the new sub-region of China, Hong Kong, and Macau. And just over here, we are pleased to introduce Reverend James Corbin, and he is the General Superintendent of the United Pentecostal Church in Bangladesh, and also serves as a missionary to India. And just arriving, who I was beginning to think might be mid-trib or post-trib, Brother Palmang. He is the superintendent for Myanmar, and we're delighted that he is able to travel and be here with us. And just to my right is Brother Junichi Matsui. He is the General Secretary of the Japan United Pentecostal Church. And we're delighted for these delegates. And I might say that for those of you that came here shedding a few tears when you arrived, not seeing the blossoms that were promised, I will say this. Let me just say this, that although the fig tree shall not blossom, yet I will rejoice in the God of my salvation. I'm sorry, I missed, last but not least, Brother Josh Barsati, and he is our missionary to Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. We're so glad that you're here. His first time to be in an Executive Global Council. God bless you.
Thank you, Brother Sean. Let's welcome you. Leading the Central America Caribbean region, Brother David Schwartz will introduce us to the delegates from the CAC.
Centroamérica.
Thank you, Brother Hunley. Greetings to everyone that's here tonight. It's my privilege and honor to be able to present to you the CAC delegates. We have to my right Henry Ritchie, missionary to Martinique, and he's the area coordinator of Caribbean Islands. We have Derek Hanna. He is from the Turks and Caicos delegate. Here we have Ignacio Herrera from Panama. We have Steve Dross, President of the Work in Mexico. Oscar Roya, representing Mexico as well and as a delegate.
Let's welcome those from the Central America. The newest region of the Global Council is Eurasia, North Africa, led by Brother Ken Cantrell, our Regional Director, who will introduce the ENA delegates.
Thank you so much, Brother Hunley. We'll start back here in the back row. Jonathan Sherry, he is the area coordinator to the Middle East and also the president of Jordan and working also in the Middle East area. We also have Rick Robinson. He is the president of the church in Turkey, and he is the area coordinator for Central Asia. Right here we have Israel on location. Reverend Sean Turner is the president of Israel. And then here to my left is Brad Reed. He is the president of the Gulf States region and is a great big asset to our region as well. And then finally we have Ezra Roberts, area coordinator to North Africa, and he is working in Morocco as well. Thank you so much, guys.
the European delegation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's an honor to introduce the European delegates. To my left, we have Brother Josh Moreno, who is the legal representative of the United Pentecostal Church International of Greece and pastor in the great city of Athens. Also, to my left is Bishop Leroy Francis, the General Superintendent of the UPCI of Great Britain and Ireland, pastor in the great city of London. Also to my left, Brother Robert Kelly, many hats, but also the area coordinator of Northern Europe. To my right, we have Brother Matthew Buckland, who's the superintendent of the church in the Czech Republic. Back to my back right, Brother Eric Minkelaar, Vice President of the United Pentecostal Church of the Netherlands and pastor in the city of Hoofddorp. Also glad to have Brother Jaromir Zumar, the legal representative of the Czech Republic and pastor in the great city of Prague.
And let's welcome the European delegate. Brother Roger Buckland is our regional director for the Pacific region, and he will introduce the Pacific delegates.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is indeed a privilege to be here with the Pacific region. From the North Pacific region, I would like to introduce Reverend Cesar Pestaño, General Superintendent of the dynamic United Pentecostal Church, the Philippines. Good to have him. Also representing the North Pacific, we have Reverend David Dibble, who is our missionary and living in Guam, and superintendent of the Micronesian Islands. Then for our Central Pacific, we have Reverend Esioni Vai, who is our Assistant General Superintendent of the work in the Kingdom of Tonga. So we're glad to have him, and I like to sit next to him because he's my friend. Well, they're all my friends. They were my friends. But our missionary from Central Pacific is Reverend Troy Wickett, who is our GATS representative for the Pacific, as well as our missionary in Fiji and the General Superintendent of the Solomon Islands, of our work in the Solomon Islands. And then for our South Pacific, we have Reverend Harvey, Brother Stan Harvey, General Superintendent of the Great United Pentecostal Church of Australia. And then we also have representing South Pacific is Reverend Brandon Borders, who is our missionary in New Zealand. So we have a great representation, and we're glad to be at the Executive Board Council.
Let's welcome the Pacific. Regional Director, Brother Mike Sponsler from South America, will introduce the South American delegation.
Nosotros,
Thank you, Brother Hunter, Brother Bernard. It's my joy and honor to present our delegation from South America.
por Sudamérica, los delegados.
Dane, who's a missionary in Bolivia. And over here to the right, we have Brother Ronnie Freddy, who is the national president of the work of Ecuador. And to his left is Brother Marco Tulio Oviedo, who is our ambassador at large and our regional secretary, who's with us. Brother Joey Beard, who is a national president of the country of Chile, also area coordinator for the Central Zone. And I think that's everybody that we had. Oh, Brother Lonnie Berger, who is missionary in Venezuela. And we are glad to have them. And we are also glad to having them accompanied, some of them by their executive assistants, who is Sister Gloria Oviedo, Hermana Cristina, Sister Gail Burton, and Sister Mary Sponsor. Thank you, brother.
Amen. It's already been mentioned by Brother Adams, but Africa does have an extra delegate in the wonderful person of Brother Duncan Karuku. We give honor to our Secretary of the Global Council. We're so thankful for him and everything he has done to serve this great body of believers around the world. And there is one more North American delegate the bishop just brought to my attention. Brother Scotty Slayton is one of our North American delegates. He's not Canadian, but he did take the place of Brother Raymond Woodward, who could not be here. But, you know, we love you, Brother Slayton, even though you're not Canadian. We appreciate that very, very much. The global church is extraordinary. It's very easy as we operate in our own context, in isolation. Sometimes distance is very vast. But it's in moments like this when we understand the true scope of not just the United Pentecostal Church, but the kingdom of God. This is a remarkable, living, breathing organism that covers the earth in an effort to bring the gospel of Jesus Christ to the whole world. We are honored to have a seat at these tables. We're blessed to be a part of a brotherhood of believers from 203 nations and territories. God is at work in the world.